Hey everybody, it's me again, Mr. D. Just trying to do a quick follow-up video. I did one just recently about the banking, the credit cards and how they're trying to trick you and get you into different contracts. Well, I just received a couple letters. I'm working with a couple different clients, and they got these letters back from the bank stating that when they signed the original agreement, to get the credit card, that they agreed that they would pay this credit card back in Federal Reserve notes. Now, I've never seen it on a contract, but they may disguise it some kind of way. But if you get a letter like this from a bank now that you're doing these coupons, which I'm sure you're going to start getting because everybody's starting to do this and these banks are desperate and they're hurting now. So if you get one of these, what I'd like you to do is go to Google and look up what a contract is, the 7 steps or whatever, how many steps. I think it was about 9 different steps on what they call a legitimate contract. And once you submit this payment to these banks, these credit card companies, or whatever, it is done. Like I said before, there was an offer, you sent that coupon to them, and they didn't return it, so that's acceptance. And most of the time they won't return it. But just, when you get these, and these letters look legitimate, they sound legitimate, but think about this. Every contract has to have at least, equal consideration. The equal consideration is what are they bringing to the party? What are they bringing to this contract? It's like if I were loaning you money and you came to me to borrow $500 and I loaned you the $500, but I didn't tell you, I went and took it out your piggy bank when you were at work, and I charge you interest on that money. It's a fraudulent contract right there. And that's what these banks do. You have a Sustaining trust that these banks have access to once you give them your Social Security number. So you give them that number, now they go right into your trust, and you give them that number through your application. So most people don't know that once they fill out the application, then the banks get paid right then. They send that application, and because there is no acceptance or denying when the bank is going straight to the Treasury, because they've got your signature. And so as far as the Treasury is concerned, they're going to give you the money. Well, it doesn't work that way. They keep it and they loan it back to you. So there was no equal consideration. And, there was no full disclosure. That's another point of a contract. And there was also no meeting of the minds where you should have received your full disclosure or the good intent. All these different things are part of contracts. So when you get these letters, keep in mind that the whole process, the moment you put your signature on that contract, because your signature is the only one on there. There's no other signature on that contract when you get that credit card. When you put your signature on there, it's a fraudulent contract from that point on, and they are committing fraud against you. So they can say all day long that, you agreed to pay this in Federal Reserve notes, but right there you can say, this is a fraudulent contract. You didn't give me full disclosure. You can argue with them if you want to, that's up to you. What I always do is once I've sent that off, because the banks can't take you to court and sue you now, because they know that when they give you that coupon and you turn it to a money order and submit it correctly, which is easy to do with a registered mail return receipt, and I always put a stamp on mine and cancel it out, but you don't have to do that. And mine have always worked doing that. And I've done quite a few of them. So the banks, they're in such a disarray right now. They're doing everything to hang on to your money. So also, they're doing bail-ins. And I don't know if you know what a bail-in is, but a bail-in is kind of like a bailout. Back in, I think in the 80s, Obama bailed out the big banks. But what he did is, he took taxpayers' dollars and he gave all that money to the banks and gave them bonuses. Well, a bail-in is something a little bit different. A bail-in is when they go into your bank account and they take your money. I've got a client who's going through that right now. They took quite a bit of money out of her account. And a bail-in is when you give money to a bank. It's an unsecured loan. You make a deposit to a bank that's an unsecured loan, and you're giving them that money. And the reason they get away with this is because if you have a checkbook, say you look at, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but you get a personal checkbook. It's not on corporate checkbooks, on personal checkbooks. Because a corporate checkbook, you can bankrupt and start over again pretty easily with a different EIN number. So, but on a personal checkbook, you look at the bottom, you'll see where you sign your name. You'll see these these two little letters. It'll say MP. And most people don't even know what that is. They just ignore it. But MP stands for micro print. And on that micro print, it says authorized user, authorized user. So that line where you sign your name is not a line, it's a contract. It's you signing a contract to allow to give your bank account over to the bank and you become an authorized user of it. And that's, you know, and most people don't even understand what that is. So when you do that, what you are doing is telling the bank that they can do whatever they need to do with your money. And you are the authorized user on that account. And really, you have no repercussions when they do it because you've agreed to this. Even though it's a fraudulent contract, you can fight it, but I don't know if you ever get your money back. But anyway, I wanted you to know about that because that's how they're starting to, you know, they're like I said, they're desperate. And that's how they're getting money now. They're doing bail-ins with people that have quite a bit of savings. They can go into your savings account, then go into your checking account. So be careful with that. Limit the amount of money you put in these banks right now. The other thing I wanted to say is that when you keep in mind that when you submit these payments through your, when you're dealing with these banks and these credit cards, you submit this payment, understand that it is done. And don't be afraid when they write you a letter. They send you a letter back, and letters are designed to scare you. That's what the IRS does. The IRS, they have classes on how to write letters to put fear into people's hearts and minds so that they don't know how to respond to that letter. And they go to a professional, what they would consider professional, to help respond to them. You have the ability to respond to all these presentments when you know who you are. And if you know that this country, that this so-called, not say country, corporation runs on your signature, then you understand the power that you truly have. And so I suggest to you to start using that power. So when you get these presentments back from these banks, remember, they never sent that coupon back to you. They processed that coupon and they got another payment. So that means they got the payment when you did the application. They got the payment on the coupon that you discharged. Yeah, they did all that, and they're trying to get you to continue paying. So stand your ground. Go read up on contracts. What makes an authorized, or I mean, I'd say not authorized, but a valid contract. And you'll notice that anytime you're dealing with the government, they never give you a valid contract because they never, ever, ever give you full disclosure. All right. So, I mean, I can go on, but I'm not anyway. That's Mr. D, Mr. D's classroom. Remember, happiness is a choice. Choose to be happy, and you are whatever comes after I am. Guys, stand strong. Have a good day.